Did you know that the buildings, which were once the greatest icons of America, now only exist on old film reels? From New York's premier skyscrapers to Detroit's most luxurious hotels, all were mercilessly leveled in the name of progress. How did these architectural masterpieces vanish? Come on, let's explore. This is the Minneapolis Exposition Hall, a grand building that once stood tall. Unfortunately, it was demolished in 1940. While not directly from the Civil War era, many such historic venues hosted veterans' reunions, exhibitions, and memories of the Great Conflict long after the war ended. Here's a rare look at Detroit in its early 20th century glory: Monroe Street and City Hall around 1910. Horse-drawn carriages, bustling sidewalks, and grand architecture lined the streets. Sadly, almost all of these buildings were demolished by around 1990, leaving only memories of this once vibrant scene. This is the famous Riggs House, a grand hotel in Washington, D.C. around 1910. Located in a prime spot downtown, it welcomed politicians, businessmen, and visitors for decades. Sadly, the building was demolished in the 1950s to make way for a much larger modern office building. This is the luxurious Ormond Hotel, captured in Ormond Beach, Florida in 1894. With its grand architecture and scenic location, it was once a favorite winter retreat for wealthy Americans. Tragically, the historic hotel was demolished in 1992. This impressive building is the Great Northern Hotel and its adjacent office tower in Chicago, photographed around 1895 to 1900. With its grand architecture and prime location, it was a symbol of the city's rapid growth during the late 19th century. Like many historic structures of its era, it no longer stands today. This is the Tombs, New York City's infamous prison, along with the Manhattan Criminal Court, photographed in November 1907. The massive structure was known for its grim reputation and castle-like architecture. Sadly, it was demolished in 1941. Detroit, 1916. This is the Charlevoix Hotel on Park Boulevard. With its tall, elegant building and early automobiles lining the street, it captured the city during its booming industrial era. Tragically, this historic structure was demolished on June 23, 2013. New York, 1914. This is the headquarters of the famous newspaper The Sun, located on Park Row. You can see horse-drawn carriages and early city traffic in front of the building. Like so many historic structures, it was demolished in the 1960s. Chicago, around 1907. This is the famous Coliseum, located at the corner of 15th and Wabash Avenue. With its grand castle-like architecture, it was one of the city's most important arenas. Built in 1899, it closed in 1971 and eventually demolished in 1982. St. Louis, around 1901. This is the Grand Planters Hotel, located at the corner of 4th and Chestnut Street. Completed in 1893, the impressive building was a landmark for decades. Unfortunately, it was demolished in 1976. Columbus, Ohio, 1910. This is the Grand Union Station with its beautiful Beaux Arts architecture and impressive arched entrances. Built in 1897, it served as a major transportation hub for decades. Sadly, this historic landmark was demolished in 1979. Memphis, Tennessee, 1906. This is the beautiful Cossett Library and Post Office. With its distinctive towers and grand design, it was once a proud landmark of the city. Unfortunately, the entire complex was demolished in 1958. Washington, D.C., 1924. This is the impressive Metropolitan Methodist Church on C Street. With its tall Gothic spire rising high above the city, it was a landmark for many years. Unfortunately, the historic church was demolished in 1936. Minneapolis, Minnesota, around 1905. This is the Grand West Hotel, an impressive landmark with its ornate architecture and prominent location. It once welcomed guests from across the country. Sadly, like many historic buildings of its time, it was demolished in 1940. Chicago, September 11, 1900. This is the massive Masonic temple, once the tallest building in the world when it opened in 1892. Located on State Street, its grand architecture dominated the skyline. Tragically, this iconic structure was demolished in 1939. New York City around 1900. This is the Gillender building, a striking early skyscraper at 59 Wall Street. Completed in 1897, it was one of the tallest buildings of its time with its elegant tower design. Shockingly, this ambitious structure only stood for 13 years before being demolished in 1910. Atlantic City, around 1910. This is the elegant Shelburne Hotel with its classic architecture and prime oceanfront location. Originally built in 1869, it went through many owners and renovations over the decades. After 117 years of history, it was finally demolished in 1986. Boston, Massachusetts, around 1906. This is the elegant Tremont Street building with its beautiful ornate facade and bustling street life below. It stood proudly for decades until it was demolished in the early 1950s. For many years afterwards, the site remained empty, used only as a parking lot. New York City, 1936. This is Rhinelander Row, a block of old brick buildings on 7th Avenue between 12th and 13th Streets. With its simple but historic charm, it stood for many decades. Sadly, the entire row was demolished just 1 year later in 1937. Detroit, between 1880 and 1899. This is the impressive Majestic building, standing tall at a busy downtown intersection. With its classic architecture and prime location, it once was a landmark of the city's growing skyline. Unfortunately, this historic structure was demolished in 1962. Indianapolis, 1904. This is the Grand Tomlinson Hall, a beautiful public building with impressive architecture right in the heart of the city. It served the community for many years until it was gutted by a 4-alarm fire and later demolished in 1958. Fairfax County, Virginia, 1925. This is the beautiful old Maplewood estate, a grand Victorian home surrounded by trees and peaceful grounds. It stood as an elegant residence for many decades until it was sadly demolished in 1970. Vicksburg National Military Park, 1909. This is the famous Winding Tower, a tall observation structure with spiraling stairs and viewing platforms. Built to help visitors see the historic Civil War battlefield, it stood for decades. Sadly, the tower was demolished in the 1960s. Richmond, Virginia, around 1905. This is Murphy's Hotel, a prominent landmark with its classic architecture right in the heart of the city. For over a century, it welcomed guests until it was finally demolished in 2007. Oklahoma City. This is the Isis Theater at 124 West Reno Avenue. With its bold signage and lively crowd out front, it was a popular entertainment spot in its heyday. Like many classic theaters of the era, it was sadly demolished in the late 1950s. Detroit, around 1907. This is the Grand Hotel Pontchartrain, a magnificent building that dominated the downtown skyline. It was one of the city's most luxurious hotels. until it was demolished in 1920 to make way for the National Bank building. Detroit, Michigan, around 1920. Here we see two grand hotels standing side by side, the Hotel Tuller and the Hotel Statler. These impressive buildings were once symbols of the city's booming prosperity, welcoming thousands of guests every year. Sadly, the Tuller was demolished in 1992, and the Statler followed in 2005. Minneapolis, Minnesota, around 1905. This is the impressive Chamber of Commerce building, standing tall at a busy downtown intersection. With its solid architecture and prime location, it was a key landmark for the city's business community. Sadly, it was demolished in the 1920s and replaced by a newer building. New York City, around 1920. This is the famous Casino Theater with its grand architecture and large casino sign lighting up the building. It was a popular Broadway venue that hosted many shows, including The Little Whopper, starring Vivian Segal. Sadly, this historic theater was demolished in 1930. Lower Manhattan, around 1910. This is the impressive Hudson Terminal buildings, a major transportation hub with its tall, solid architecture dominating the skyline. For decades, it served thousands of commuters every day. Sadly, the entire complex was demolished in 1972. Washington, D.C., around 1918. This is the Emergency Fleet Corporation building, located in a busy downtown street filled with shops and horse-drawn carriages. It played an important role during World War I, supporting the nation's shipbuilding efforts. The building closed in 1978 and was demolished just 1 year later. Charleston, South Carolina, around 1900. This is the historic Charleston Orphan House, a large and imposing building that cared for hundreds of orphaned children over many decades. Located at the corner of Calhoun and St. Philip Streets, it stood as a landmark in downtown Charleston until the property was sold in 1951 and the building itself was demolished. Detroit. This historic view shows the old City Hall, Bagley Fountain, and the Majestic Building standing together in the heart of downtown. With horse-drawn carriages and early automobiles sharing the busy square, this was the vibrant center of the city for many years. Sadly, the old City Hall was demolished in the 1960s. Detroit, Michigan, around 1902. This is the magnificent old post office with its tall clock tower and grand architecture dominating the street corner. For decades, it served as one of the city's most important public buildings. Sadly, it was demolished in 1931. Atlantic City, 1904. This is the Garden Hotel, a large and elegant wooden building with spacious porches and classic resort architecture. It welcomed guests during the city's golden era as a popular seaside destination. Sadly, the historic hotel was demolished in 1933. Hanover, New Hampshire, around 1901. This is Chandler Hall, a stately and elegant building nestled among tall trees. It served the community for many years with its classic architecture and peaceful setting. Sadly, the historic structure was demolished in 1937. Detroit, around 1908. This is the Grand Circus Building, a solid 4-story commercial structure built in 1887 by David Whitney. Standing at a busy street corner, it was part of the city's expanding business district. Surprisingly, this building stood for less than 30 years before being demolished in 1914. Pittsburgh, 1905. This is the Fort Pitt Hotel, a large and solid building located on Penn Avenue. With many windows and prominent corner position, it was a well-known landmark in the heart of the city for over 60 years. Sadly, it was demolished in 1967. Hartford, Connecticut, 1908. This is the Allen House, a prominent corner building with classic architecture and active street life below. For decades, it was a well-known landmark in downtown Hartford. Sadly, the building was demolished in 1960. Tacoma Park, Maryland, around 1895. This is the beautiful Douglas family home, a classic Victorian house with a distinctive turret, wide porches, and elegant details. It was a warm family residence for many years, until it was sadly demolished in 1960 to make way for a nursing home. Every photograph we have just witnessed is not just an old piece of film, but a piece of history that has vanished forever. From luxurious hotels and bustling transit hubs to architectural marvels like the Masonic Temple or the Gillender building, the relentless march of time and modernization has erased them all. Preserving these images is our only way to honor and remember a golden era that once was. Do not let history be forgotten. If you loved this journey through time, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our next historical deep dive. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.